Hello everyone, this is a CADspace blog. I'm Marlon and I will walk through a feature that came out in SOLIDWORKS 2019 called Structure Systems. Now as you see the model in front, this is a model or a rough model for a shed structure, and for those of you who use weldments quite a bit, you will appreciate that this would take quite a bit of time and effort to generate this type of model. Now from here, what I'll do here is I'll demonstrate to you how to create most of the structural members that you saw in the previous part, and from here I will generate or show you or get you to appreciate how Structure Systems aims to decrease the amount of time and effort to create the structure that you see here. Now, to generate or use a Structure Systems feature, basically all you need is a few sketches and a few reference planes that will serve as where your location and orientation of your structural members. Now in this case here, I will generate my Structure Systems feature. All I have to do is, if it's not active, I'll right click any of the Sketch Manager tabs and look for my Structure Systems. Now from there, all I'll do is I'll click or start the Structure Systems feature. Now the first thing that's going to happen is that SOLIDWORKS will prompt you to create your primary members, or primary members, and what you do is you click on it, and here I can choose or make primary members from either sketch segments, from reference planes, between points, or intersections between faces or planes. In this case, I'll use the classical approach, and I'll select these for sketch segments that you see that I'm clicking. After I'm done clicking my selections, I then move on to my profile, and this property manager shows or basically looks like the second half of the weldments feature. And you're not wrong, it's no different. All it is now is I have to select my profile that I'm using. And one thing to note for Structure Systems at the moment is that it only uses configured profiles. For now, I'm going to be using 100 by 100 post, and because I am satisfied with my floor tier base, I'll click OK. And all it is now is to create primary members for my base of the roof and apex of the roof. So I'll make my next two sets via clicking my primary member feature and clicking sketch segments that are associated to what I need. In this case, I'm sticking to 100 by 100 post. I'll click OK, and my last primary member set is the top or apex of the roof. I'll use my sketch as well, 100 by 100 post. Click OK, and then once that's done, I can then, because I have more than one primary member, I can then make my secondary member or support posts. In this case, I want to make support posts going vertically, running vertically, or in the y direction, going between this primary member and this this other primary member. To make that, I'll click on my secondary member feature, and what I need to do here is, using a support plane member type, I will click on the two primary members I want to make the support post out of, and then I will make use of the planes that I created at the base of the part. So in this case, I'll click my rear plane, stud 3, stud 2, and stud 1 planes, and you can see that I've made these 4 support posts on the left. I can also add more support posts. It just is a matter of me selecting more primary member pairs. In this case, I'll click this 2 primary pairs on the right, and I'm not locked to making them at this orientation. I don't have to be stuck at the vertical or horizontal. What I can do is, as long as I have primary members that I'm choosing, all I have to do is click on the apex of the roof and the bottom. Likewise, on the right side, I will click the top and the bottom of the roof frame, and you can see that I've made 16 of these members in total without having to generate different sketch segments to generate or basically let my structural members use them. I've just made selections between primary members and specified the locations via reference planes. So once I'm done, I'll click OK. Now, making secondary members is also not restrictive. I don't need to be restricted to the orientation of the planes. I can also, with my secondary member, create them between points along my primary members. In this case, I'll click these two primary members. You would notice here, I'll change my parameter from distance to length ratio, and you'll see a red node. Likewise here, a purple node. In this case, this purple and red node acts as the origin of where this point of the secondary, or these points of the secondary member lies on. So in this case, I'll change it to 0.05 or 5% away from the red node. In this case, to make a corresponding diagonal, I can make this 0.95 or 95% away from the purple node. So I've made my diagonal structural member. In this case, I can make more of them. It's all a matter of choosing the sets that I want. I can click my secondary member, make it between these two primary members, and at the same time I can also make it within this subframe here. All I'll do here is look for my length ratio and click on my length ratio parameter. Here in this case, I'm going to make this one 0.99 or 99% away from the red node, and I'll make this one 0.75 or 0.75 away from the purple node. So once it's done, I'm happy with putting that here. You can also see that I can restrict it to this subframe here, and I can make it restrict not only between primary members but also secondary members, as you will see in the few steps coming. I'll click OK, and now you can see that I've not made the entire section from that shed part that you saw earlier in the video, but you can see that without having to resort to lots of sketches, I've created this particular structural member, or sorry, this type of structure without having to go in depth with my sketches. Now from here, all I'll do is, once I'm happy with where all my structural members are located, if I need to edit them, I can just double click any of those particular members, for example, edit them, and when I'm done, I'll click and confirm this step, and you'll see that the next step is to specify my corner treatments for every member that's here in this structure. So from here, you can see that on the left, you have your corner management property manager. In this case, think of this corner management property manager as your filter. You can see where two members coincide, or basically all where your simple horizontal or vertical joints come in place. Complex can have two-member joints as well, but this is just more or less where you have angled members coinciding with each other. In this case, what I'll do here is just to show you, you can basically filter out which corner you'd like just by clicking on this particular, in the particular selection box. For example, you can see that I'm highlighting where they are. They turn either purple for that corner, or you can essentially, just like with weldments, click on the graphics area where the dots are. So here in this case, I'll click on where my secondary member, diagonal secondary member was. Here I'll make sure it extends all the way up to my primary member. Likewise here, I'll click on this bottom purple, extend it, and I'll click OK. Once I click OK on my corner management, you can see that I'll exit the command, but essentially now I have my structural member in place for this shed. So it's not complete, by all means it's not complete, but you can see that, or I hope that you appreciate that with structure systems, the amount of time needed to create that sort of structure was less and was quick. So yeah, we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this, and please look out for our next one.